Hey everybody, it's Aluna Michaels, Esoteric Astrologer, talking to you about January of 2021. Yay, 2021. Okay, so one of the biggest things to talk about is the planet Mars. Now we know we had the retrograde, right? It went retrograde in September, it went direct in November, but the fact that Mars generally goes through a sign, about 6 or 8 weeks. It moves pretty fast. But it went into Aries at the end of June, and it's finally going to go out on the 6th of January. I'm doing this on the 5th, so tomorrow. And yay, we're going to have a fresh Mars energy because, Mars, nothing's wrong with Mars in Aries, but when it's there so long, it's kind of like a feeling of being burned out. I mean, people can feel really tense and real frustrated. It can be just edgy, and when it does go into Taurus, it's like a sense of relief because Mars is action and Taurus is calm. But Taurus is also steady. So it's like, let's take calm, steady action. So it can take a lot of anxiety off. A lot of people have been telling me they've been having trouble sleeping, either staying up really late, looking at, I have a friend that calls it clock watching, and finally falls asleep at 3 in the morning, or some people waking up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep and stuff. And I think it's that idea of that Mars and Aries and Aries and Aries, it's just hot energy. So yay goes into Taurus. Now, excuse me, there's a few little bumps that happen. I mean, going into Taurus is going to be good. When it squares Saturn, because we've just had Saturn go into Aquarius, so Taurus and Aquarius make a square, that's going to be, that'll be on the, the 12th that happens. And then actually right after that, Mars will square Jupiter the end of the week. So let's take that Mars square Saturn. It's it can feel like there's a block. A lot of Mars in Taurus is patient, so it's much better to have Mars squaring Saturn in Taurus because it's like, well, I'm already going kind of slow and having sort of a paced kind of way of doing things, as opposed to Mars in Aries. It's like, when Mars squares. Now it's only a day or two, but you can kind of feel like it's like taking a breath, it's resetting goals. And by the way, just Mars and Taurus in general is great for setting long-term goals, and not even like, New Year's resolution, but real things that, you really want to make them last, because sometimes New Year's resolutions seem like they just last a few weeks, but that Mars in Taurus can really help to extend that. And so that Mars square Saturn could be a first challenge of your commitment to yourself or something, and say, nope, I'm still gonna do that, like not eat chocolate cake or whatever, have positive thinking or do my meditation every day or something. So, but it's good to have a challenge sometimes because it strengthens your will, that Mars, what you desire to act upon. So then, so that happens on the 12th. I'm saying some of this because, most people live in the U.S., some people live in the U.S. who are watching this, but it can be a little bumpy on the 20th when Mars conjuncts Uranus. So Uranus is in Taurus and Mars goes into Taurus. So that's an interesting pairing. This is like the 19th, 20th, 21st. Mars can be angry, and Uranus, on one level, it's a breakthrough. Mars is like, we're really covering new territory, because that Uranus, like, I want free thinking, fresh energy. Sometimes there's that capacity to feel, can be kind of violent. It can be explosive. So just in general, I guess wherever you stand on politics stuff, if you're in the U.S., like, keep it to yourself or make sure you're talking into an echo chamber, people say. But it's just like, you can feel like my idea and crash, and be fighting with people in your family or yelling or whatever. But it's best to kind of like just chill out around that day. Just even when you're driving, like feeling, because Mars can be driving, you just feel like, people can be edgy and watching for other people being edgy in their cars, or just, it's just kind of a time to like chill out, try not to take a sudden action because it's like sometimes you don't think things through clearly during that time. But if it's still staying with you, or you've really thought it out and you're ready to make a move, like say for instance you want to change jobs, it could be a good time to do that. But the the way other people can receive your changes could be difficult. So if it's something within yourself, like I'm really going to make a commitment to myself about something, it doesn't impact others, that's good. But again, when you get into other people's stuff and how that can, people can react. It's very reactive, that Mars Uranus. Hopefully it's happy reactions. I just want to put it out there. So then what is kind of a saving grace here that's good. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I'm sorry, I feel like it's news. It's not mostly bad news. But Uranus changes direction and goes direct. So now Uranus, a lot of the outer planets, especially Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they retrograde once a year, and then they go forward once a year. So here's Uranus about to kind of sit still and go forward. So, and that happens on the 13th, 14th. So to me, the idea that Uranus is changing signs, because it's just like a cat wants to pounce, it's like, if you watch the cat, it just kind of almost shakes when it's ready to jump on the mouse or something. So that Uranus is this tension, like I want to just move, I want to do something. Happening at the same time of that Mars-Saturn, that can be a little stuck feeling. And then even with the Mars Uranus a week later, it's just like a release of energy. So however that's going to be. There's so much about Aquarius and Uranus that are linked, that are about being true to your beliefs, value systems that are breakthrough, being able to look at your own values and make changes when they should be changed, but it's sometimes it's that radical nature of it that can be good if you're trying to make a breakthrough, but it can be, challenging to others, again, like Mars with Uranus. So that Uranus going direct, even though it's in the sign of Taurus right now, Uranus is always linked with Aquarius. So it's about trying to have freer thinking or more inclusive thinking. And again, challenging your own thinking, where you block yourself from the goals you want to manifest or something like that. So when it's internal stuff, it can be very breakthrough. It's very breakthrough in general, but it feels like within yourself, you can kind of, if you have to fight yourself, it's within you, and you can, confront those pieces. But when you're dealing with other people, it's obviously can be challenging, right? Now, what's really nice is that Venus moves into Capricorn, and that actually might have happened already. Nope, that's on, let's call it Friday. So Friday, Saturday, and then Venus makes a really nice angle to Mars. So Venus is in Earth, Capricorn, and the Mars is in Taurus, Earth. So those work well together, and that can be good, because Venus and Mars are opposites in the sense of male-female kind of ideas or whatever. Men are from Mars, women from Venus, but when they're trining, it's like people can overcome their differences, whatever type of opposites they are. It can be a centering time. So it's interesting that that's happening within all this Uranus changing direction and all of this stuff. It's like there's people who are willing to say, I want to listen, I want to hear what you have to say. It's a great time for relationships, though. The whole month can be really good for, branching out and new types of people. And if you even haven't dated in a while and you're dating safely with COVID or something, or within your own partnership, you can feel you can smooth out issues that have arisen and things like that. So that's always good. Then Uranus will keep moving and work with, it works with Uranus on the 14th, and then with Pluto on the 28th. So the fact that Venus is working with Uranus also can kind of soothe, again, it's a trine, soothe that edge, that could be coming up. And it's like, and Venus is about good thoughts, and even like praying for groups of people could be really helpful, that it could kind of seep into people's minds, just because everything's so edgy. And if you think, I don't know if you're seeing this, but I slipped and then my arm went on the wall, almost like a burn. And it's like, I put something on there to soothe it. It's like the Mars Uranus is like, ah, and then the Venus is like, puts like a soothing balm over it. So the idea of people are riled up and you're praying for others, that could be very effective in how it seeps in to the wound, or to the irritation. So, and the commitment to love, the commitment to hold love is the highest power in the universe. and not like, we won't look at other things, but that love is somehow penetrating the circumstance or soothing others and this sort of thing when we're looking how Venus is working throughout the month and saying that is the highest truth, and I'm going to keep affirming that and believing it while addressing these other issues, but sort of acting as if that's the highest power, because it is. And so leaving room for that divine healing capacity. So, okay. So if you want to get a session with me, alunamichaels.com. You can text me 248-583-1663. And I have my book on Amazon, which is called The Spiritual Gifts of the 12 Astrological Signs. Feel free to leave comments or ask questions. Sometimes I don't see the comments so easily on YouTube anymore, so best to go through my website or text me. So you're getting a little bit of a slow start somewhat to 2021, but that Uranus is also this fresh energy. So once we get settled in here, it's going to be very good. And also I want to say that, I might have said this last month, but with Jupiter and Saturn having gone into Aquarius and Uranus changing direction, it's a lot about inventions, discoveries. It's a lot of knowledge that can come through to us with COVID situation and things like this, So a lot more hope on the horizon. So thanks so much for listening. See you later. Bye for now.